yet again, SofM. Have to come back with maybe the Wukong being left open again. The Lucian banned by Weibo for the second time here, and a little bit more focus towards that potential Lucian-Nami combo in bottom lane. But this is where you expect RA to keep open Zeri, and there we go. Fiora banned away again, and now there's a decision. Zeri picked up for Huanfeng and Weibo Gaming this time around.
Yeah, Weibo deciding that that was way too much of a problem. We saw the benefits of the buffs coming through with, your fact that your W now critting when you do shoot it through walls and just how much damage that is able to do. RA, oh wow. RA maybe gonna say like, who cares about what is maybe higher prio in this meta with the Wukong? Let's just go back to what gave us so much success in game one, and that was Leyan taking over the early game on the Lee Sin. I'm curious to see what RA's answer into the Zeri is, because I feel like every game we've seen Zeri, there's just really nothing that is able to hold her down, nothing that's able to tie her down and start finding those early kills. So RA maybe just going to opt into the same setup that Weibo had. You just look to match early in terms of being able to clear the wave with rockets and hope that once, you come online with 3 items, you get the IE that you can start taking over.
I was wondering about the Ezreal, see if that was going to come through for some comfort for RA, but not the choice here. And we get the double lock-in for Weibo Gaming. They got the Nocturne and Renata here as the double.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this goes, right? Because Nocturne and Renata typically having a bit of like contradicting play patterns in terms of like SofM going to want to dive into the backline, get on top of that immobile AD carry and punish the Jinx, to where on the Renata, right, you're more comfortable the enemy team coming into you kind of being that counterbalance of not enabling the engage. I guess if you're ahead, you can push people into like tight areas, or if you're on Dragon, start up the engage with that ability, especially in tight corridors. So for Weibo, I'm really interested to see what soul laners they decide to round out this composition with. For RA, they're kind of all-inning on the 5v5, able to come through with the fact that they've now locked in this Nautilus.
I will special shout out to SofM, really branching out at this point. The Viego was banned away. Leeson taken. He goes for the Nocturne this time. And I want to see how it goes, right? I do feel like SofM can have a pretty strong performance on the Nocturne, especially if he has the right pieces in place around him, looking at those solo lanes, hopefully. But as we are in the second phase of bans, we do see the Jax banned by Weibo, the Azir by Rare Adam.
Yeah, for RA, they banned out the Orianna as well. In their second rotation of bans in game one, when they were concerned about picks that Angel can pick on through, but instead going to take away the Lissandra. Not too much opened in terms of what Strive usually goes toward. Strive has also played the Orianna in the split. He has a game on the Galio as well if they want to maybe try and look to kind of counteract some of this dive able to come through. A champion who, things like Renata, I think feel like pretty decent being able to go up against, but...
The respect is given! It is.
Maybe not the respect. Maybe Weibo do want to go towards the blind pick Kayle once again.
Nope.
Or, RA maybe saying, screw that, you ban away the Jax and the Nasus, we'll pick it up ourselves.
Yeah, they want to go for a little bit of that scaling, but they did ban away the Lissandra, and that immediately brought my attention to the LeBlanc possibilities, and it does get locked in for Rare Adam. So they're going to save the counter pick for top lane.
Interesting as well, because I don't feel like we've seen too many people picking the Lissandra into the LeBlanc lately. I feel like we've mostly just kind of seen it against the R. And there it is. There it is. Pack it up.
Never say never. Lyric, never say never. You put down TheShy that way, he ain't going to let you get away with that one. He's going to run it back and try to have a little bit of a salty run back time, as he did lock that in. It's going to be the Sejuani response by Rare Adam.
I wouldn't be surprised if this actually is a bit of a quick one coming through once again. I will say for Weibo have all in on like side lanes and the global pressure able to come through. So not only can Angel try to match to cover that top side, but SofM now with the paranoia can look to join up as well. It'll be really good once we get into the mid game and you can start setting up that 1-3-1. Maybe even punish with double soul laners, Angel TPing into cover for TheShy, SofM playing the opposite side of the map. You have so many objectives that do open up. In this bottom lane, gonna be able to comfortably sit in mid once we do get into that formation that they want to opt into. To RA, I feel like their comp, once again, kind of having a little bit of it all. You have some scaling semblance there with your AD carry. You have a frontliner in the Sejuani who is also a lane-dominant melee bruiser, assassin, burst mage. So from what we've seen, he will win out in the lane, I guess the point I'm getting to. But you also have a strong mid laner who's able to work with what Leyan has in the jungle this time around. So it shouldn't only be Leyan looking to influence the map. It should be you linking up with your jungle, attacking this Twisted Fate, maybe trying to burn a summoner, making it hard for him to use Destiny, and then pivoting pushing into ganking these sides and punishing TheShy once again.
Yeah, because we saw how successful Leyan was in that first game specifically, but now that you have a little bit more of that mobility, a little bit more of that teamwork, I think that's super important. And it's super testing for Weibo Gaming, who are running back, bits and pieces of the composition, at least in terms of the way they want to approach the game, but it's got a little bit more nuance. It's got a little bit more proactivity for SofM. It's got the Nocturne that you really have to look to those level 6 marks, the Destiny, the Nocturne Paranoia to get off the ground for Weibo Gaming. They have scaling, but it's going to take some time as we see RA trying to repeat from spring 2022 and wipe out Weibo Gaming in 2-0. We'll see if Weibo Gaming can resurge into this series and bring us the distance.
Weibo, I feel like have a tough task ahead of them. Cube should have a solid time up in the top lane, especially once he does hit that level 3 mark. We've seen Sejuani able to consistently win out in a lot of these trades, and early on even ignore some of the damage to come out from TheShy. TheShy will win at level 1, which is why he's trying to hunt Cube down. And just kind of abuse with some of these autos. But
oh my god, again. This happened again. Like, we're getting the level 1 shenanigans, and it's Weibo Gaming falling for it for a second game in a row. You were saying a quick one. Well, iBoy's already getting pretty excited in this second game.
It's actually a mirror. It's actually a mirror of game 1 to come through. Just
how does that happen? 2 games in a row.
Yeah, level 1s all around, but I mean, coming through this time with Yuyanjia being the one to pick up the kill, and Weibo still wanting to contest for this.
SofM, this is some trouble here. The chain connects, and they're going to get more. They're just going to get more. iBoy cleanses, and now the rest of Rare Adam going back to the red buff. This is 2-0 of a start for Rare Adam.
1K gold. Not even 2 minutes. We're once again aiming to break the record. We're speed running 23 minutes, and I think it was like about 30 seconds to come through. But Leyan, like, gonna take away the one big Raptor, get level 2 off of mid XP.
Are Rare Adam just the kryptonite? Like, are they just like, do they just mental diff Weibo Gaming? I don't like. It's such an interesting conundrum happening here, where honestly it's a trend. I'm starting to see a lot of bottom tier or lower in the standing teams in these last couple days have really found their strength.
Yeah, you're right. We had teams like TT picking up wins, LGB picking up a win as well.
Back to back picking up their first wins of the series.
And now RA do have a win already, but still you're right. The fact that some of our lower in the standings teams being able to pick it up is quite nice to see. We're coming onto a new patch. They've had more time to scrim, figure out what they like in the meta that we've had, and they're really bringing it together. RA were a team as, okay, we should be fine. RA were always a team that I believed would pick it up a little bit as the split went on, considering the fact that they have kept the same roster from spring, so at least should be able to outpace some of these teams that have made roster changes. And they were a mid-tier team in spring, right? They aren't a team that I expect to see sitting 16th, 17th. They are better than that as Leyan maybe posturing up for some aggression once again, but the ward from TheShy will mean he's safe. So Leyan will just go for the Scuttle Crab.
Yep, getting a little bit of top side vision, trying to keep up in some pace there. Thought maybe the visit towards top lane might work out, but TheShy playing it pretty safe there, knowing that the vision is there, plays pretty nicely against Q. We'll be continuing to trade up there though, so we got to keep a side eye up there.
Things are coming through, Mazel.
Yeah, I was gonna say the pigs are coming back because this is how they got off the ground run last time. Just a quick visit from Leyan to top lane early on, and there you go. You started winning. The biggest thing though about this early lead for RA is Yuyanjia is the one with the double kill so far, but now they're looking for more for iBoy. They want to feed him here. Run Rocket, and On will survive with the bailout for a little bit longer, but iBoy gonna be just as excited at that level 1.
And I feel like we get to see the benefit of Yuyanjia getting some of the early kills, right? Because right after he got those kills, he backed and he picked up a Ruby Crystal. So already having more HP, those engages are more forgiving. He can tank more damage. But now Leyan and SofM might have a little bit of a fight as we see Strive moving up.
Yeah, they do have that mobility we were talking about with Strive, trying to move out of this mid lane, kept the pressure up, and they could be looking for a dive. You see Weibo going to clear the wave, and I think rightfully so, Rare Adam realized they don't really need to do this.
No, even with the turret damage nerfed from what it was on 12.10, so it'd be an incredibly risky dive to take with the fact that SofM's here and at full HP, so they are just going to back off. not even gonna risk to try to overstay for the counter jungle, knowing that Angel was answering that wave the whole time. So Strive will realistically have to get back to the wave and pick this one up. Leyan having all of his bot side camps up already, I feel like you can once again look to cycle through your jungle, open up another wave for Strive to move, and then look to punish once again. Bot lane so far is doing fine, just chilling in that 2v2. So if Leyan can keep spotting out SofM, who, right, he's on the Nocturne, isn't an extremely like strong early skirmisher in any regard, especially in terms of like 2v2s and 3v3s, everything you're bringing a bit of single target, especially with that fear able to come through. So I'd love to see them keep linking up, keep playing around Leyan and spotting out where SofM is on the map.
Indeed, as we're looking at top lane now, Cole was picked up for TheShy just to try to keep that farming, that scaling going as much as they can in top side, as that'll be a late game win condition for Weibo Gaming, where they need to play towards those win conditions at this point. It's 3-0 in favor of RA. We'll see if Weibo can get on the board here, as Yuyanjia's caught out, and those couple kills ain't gonna really do much when you're caught out by the entire team almost of Weibo.
You know what's tragic? His flash is about to come up in like 1 second.
Yep.
His flash literally right on the verge. Nice punish coming out from Weibo. They overload around mid, expecting this to be a timer where Yuyanjia and Leyan will look to punish, especially with the fact that Yuyanjia was coming out from base at that time. So they look for the punish. They don't really lose anything in terms of bot wave as well. Huanfeng and on, able to get back to lane in time, look for the punish. But speaking of punishing, Leyan also still counter jungling up in SofM's topside jungle, stealing away the wolves.
That's been consistently doing so all game. Those early kills, that early lead for RA really gave him the confidence on this Lee Sin, as well as from last game with the incredible scoreline he had. Meanwhile, Q burns the Ignite there, try to get TheShy down. Righteous Judgment is available, but Leyan is on his way. Does not have level 6 yet. That's a big difference here. They want to try to put down TheShy early on and bring some of that success from game number 1.
SofM's on his way up, though. There's going to be a bit of a tight window here for RA, but SofM, now that he's here, Angel doesn't have a lot of mana, so he's recalling now, but does have the Destiny. Cube not able to get the wave in time for them to go with that dive, so I think it is a smart move for them to back off and just have Leyan get back into clearing. Even having iBoy and Yuyanjia pick up the Scromp is quite nice and accelerating their own advantage forward.
Yeah, and that's the second time we've seen Leyan really want to try to get something going top lane. He realizes that, you know, if Cube can get a lead up there, he can start focusing down towards iBoy, towards Yuyanjia, start stacking up the objectives, which they were doing so good last game, which we didn't really expect. And now, especially, try to get iBoy to a point of carry position, right? You're going to have Strive that's able to move out of the mid lane and help in those transfers, and especially trying to get iBoy as much gold as possible on this Jinx.
Oh, I love how fearless Yuyanjia's being with these trades, especially since he has the Kindle Gem already.
Oh, Mega Death Rocket dodged out from On, rightfully so. The heal comes out. Give On a little bit of health bar to work with here.
SofM trying to make his way over. He has Paranoia.
Does iBoy stepping forward into the jungle here. As they're going to walk up towards this dragon. Pink's coming down. We have back initiated by Yuyanjia. SofM still hovering down this way. Like you said, Paranoia available, so if they want to pull the trigger, they can. But looking like a bit of a reset coming through from On, who had lost a lot of that health to work with.
Yeah, now we're going to be looking up towards the mid lane. Leyan shouldn't be able to find anything off this. I'd like to see them start pivoting up towards the top side, which they're doing now. Cube about to have his ultimate up once again, so you can maybe even try to pivot into a top lane gank with Sejuani ult and create pressure for you to be able to more safely turn on the Rift Herald. RA are bringing their bot lane up already to where we do still see Huanfeng in the bottom side, so it seems like RA wanted to all in on picking up this first Herald.
Yeah, there's a bunch of pings from RA to get that way. Weibo will have a response, though, and I think this is a crucial and pivotal point to Weibo Gaming. If, you know, SofM can really find success with this Paranoia, is going to be huge, because we haven't been able to really see much proactivity from SofM, which I think is something that Weibo Gaming need to rely on if they're going to find a win here.
Yeah, Weibo being very patient. They've actually kept Huanfeng in, not showing on the wave, maybe to try to bait RA into something. Huanfeng is finally going to recall, and Weibo are still in the area.
They are on just playing a little bit of vision game, but it will be the Rift Herald secured by RA as SofM walks back just to keep farming, try to keep that farm pressure going. At least
I don't know.
Keep up.
Pings are coming out, Mazel. They're not going
They're
there
not
yet.
going
We
there.
see Huanfeng going to mid. They had assist pings on the Herald. which I guess mean absolutely nothing. They're just going to pivot back down to bot. I don't know. I feel like you could have just kept Huanfeng down and maybe gotten yourself a plate in the bottom lane, but
now
overall, Weibo not really answering.
Yeah, now RA have a lot to work with. They have the Rift Herald available. They could move down towards this bottom side to try and contest the Dragon take that Weibo is looking like they want to start off here, but it is just going to be the trade of objectives at this point. No push of pace for RA.
Still, I mean, the fact that Weibo weren't able to answer with any plates in bottom lane, I still feel like makes this feel worth for RA, because with the fact that they committed five members top, right, it feels like Huanfeng could have done more to deny iBoy in terms of CS and waves. iBoy actually still being up in CS after the play that happened, despite the fact that Huanfeng didn't move. So
he's gonna have the call soon too.
I do think it was a missed opportunity, but Leyan, not wanting to go for the Dragon, signaled that he wanted to make a play like this up towards the top side right. You still have the Sejuani ultimate available to try to lock down the TheShy and then bring all the burst from the Lee Sin. You could quickly pivot that into a play, but SofM now knows this play real well.
Oh, iBoy in some trouble. Handshake comes out. Cleanse not going to be enough today. And On gets the kill. Paranoia top lane, though. It's a 2v2. And the Fear actually connects. Kick from Leyan, but they're going to get this kill to TheShy. There you go. SofM actually gets it. Here comes the Destiny as well. Yellow card connects. And Cube is going to go down. He can't get anything back. Weibo Gaming. They return fire.
I mean, SofM doing a much better job this time around covering for TheShy and matching the ganks coming out from Leyan. All of it coming down to that Paranoia. I guess that's why Weibo opted into so early picking up this Nocturne. And then we saw, right, the 2v2 kill able to come out from Huanfeng and On with the handshake connecting from the brush. Really nice return from Weibo, who started this game 1,000 gold down at 2 minutes. Now they are 2K gold up at around the 11-minute mark. So nice bounce back. We'll see here. They find the combo. Sejuani ultimate comes through, but SofM was waiting just by his drop to be able to follow forward. TheShy able to just free hit Leyan all this time. Even flashing away, does not get hit by that W in the end from Cube. And then with follow-up from the Destiny, easy pickings for WBG.
Yeah, and you look mid lane, right? There was really nothing Strive could do to get up there and help. That's the power that you get with the semi-globals that Angel was able to grab with the TF, and that is a key unlocking point for Weibo Gaming, right? We said at the beginning of the day, it's all about how the pieces work together with SofM. I think you're starting to see Weibo Gaming wake up a little bit here.
Yeah, Weibo, I think, have been playing solid for the past few minutes. I think RA are the ones who need to adapt a little bit. It'd be nice to especially see a bit more movement coming out between Yuyanjia and Strive. iBoy should be able to pick up these waves pretty solidly, but with the fact that you do have this, tank support that can safely walk into river and face check without too much fear, if you could start getting him to enable Strive to start moving, and then just transfer pressure back and forth, I feel like that's where RA's composition would thrive, especially with the amount of wards they have in the bottom side river so far.
Yeah, it's a much different game from that first one where Leyan had that early advantage, continuously got kills where SofM really didn't have a response to it. This time around, it feels like there's a lot more give and take. We've seen invades from both of these junglers so far. We've even seen SofM really starting to pick up the aggression, feeling a lot more confident with the Paranoia there as well.
I actually feel like this champion's kind of perfect for SofM, and he's just vibing right now, because SofM can literally just focus on clearing his camps as long as I'm clearing my top side camp. So if TheShy does anything, I could be there. Yeah. It's like he could literally
the babysitting ulti.
Yeah, he could do what he wants. He could still farm up, still focus on himself, while still making sure that those mistakes don't come through. So doesn't even need to necessarily be like super proactive, as long as he's in the right place with his ult available, able to answer.
Rift Herald used in mid lane by Leyan as it was coming off cooldown. Hostile takeover connects on Yuyanjia. Needs to be careful. Handshake also pushed away. The charge came out, but the Rift Herald not going to get much more than that.
Still, Weibo not going to be able to find any type of engage off of the hostile takeover coming out, but RA wanting to steal away this red buff.
Oh, Dragon Rage kick with the smite combo. Leyan gets it. Yuyanjia tries to go in. Mega Death Rocket there. Big blast come back into the fight. Paranoia's huge. Destiny comes in. It's an unmanned fight here. You got to be careful, Strive. You got to get out. Flash comes through. Renata's already dead. And RA back up 2 kills against Weibo.
And that was such a messy looking fight. First RA are backing out, then they're going back in. Yuyanjia somehow gets blast planted into the middle of everyone, but the burst comes out onto On to take him out quickly. And now for RA, look what they're doing. They're able to funnel down to the spot side, get some damage onto the turret from iBoy, and not allow Huanfeng to walk up and catch the wave.
TheShy getting a lot of pressure in top lane up there against Cube now, really having a huge advantage. 30 CS about, and now RA respond with that bottom side tower as well. Leyan at least able to help in that fashion. Dragon will be coming up very shortly. Could be a nice little focus for Weibo to go up 2 dragons early on in around that 15-minute mark. But it's TheShy looking to get a full tower in top.
Yeah, and we need to... Actually, we don't need to remember anything about top. We'll come back to that as we see here. Leyan, like you said, Dragon Surge Kick comes out to guarantee the red buff. And then nice spell shield, so Yuyanjia can't find the engage. And it looks like Weibo were actually the ones who hit the blast plant and brought on in. But still, the burst able to come out, especially from Strive, onto the Renata to guarantee he goes down. Then SofM trying to flash in to finish off Yuyanjia, but Leyan covering with the safeguard. iBoy still free hitting the whole time, sets up for RA to win, and they turn that instantly into the Dragon. But while we were in that replay, TheShy was able to finish off top lane turret, so he's gotten a lot of value out from that one counter game that was given to him by SofM.
He has, but it's RA who now subtly take the gold lead, right? We're like tied pretty much. I think RA is up by like just under 100 gold. And it's actually crazy that this game has gone so back and forth, and Weibo showing moments of life, showing moments of the reason why, you know, we want to say this team can be a top team. But RA just seemed to have a difference maker in the team difference.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Yuyanjia?
Hostile takeover though onto iBoy. Yuyanjia's in some trouble, but look at the damage. They've already got the bailout on. They just need to back out. On dies. Strive picks up the kill.
I don't even know where the damage came from onto On. I saw, you know, we saw the hostile takeover come out. iBoy dodging away on that. A lot of damage put onto Yuyanjia, but still not able to finish it off. And Weibo, it's coming close every time, but even just the difference of having a frontliner for RA, having something like the Nautilus able to take the damage is making such a huge difference. Cube doesn't have TP yet. It will be up soon, but might not be in time to stop this Herald.
I will say, though, TheShy is already at level 11. The side lane farm has been doing them wonders here, and you got to remember, as you were kind of potentially talking about earlier, if I can read your mind, they do still have a win condition in this Kayle, and I think you got to be careful with the way that Weibo approach the later parts as they go for an engage with the paranoia. SofM almost dies. Rise Assessment comes out, so that's a big cooldown used by TheShy. Oh, nice engage, though, and the glaze. Oh, my goodness, there's no chance. On gets out? That's incredible.
And this has been a rough game from On, just getting picked off and caught by everything. Yuyanjia has his number in this game, and he needs to back off.
Yeah, I don't know if that's where you want to back. They're losing towers like flies here in the mid lane. RA take down 2. They get away. iBoy is looking nice and healthy.
It'd be side lanes versus like kind of team play coming in from RA, especially with the fact that they do have those front lines there and the hyper carry and the Jinx. But for Weibo, they need to play out through the strong Kayle, right? Having a side lane, if you have things like Destiny up, especially with Unsealed Spellbook, you could always swap the TP. You can have TF committed Destiny to bot side, try and find a kill on the cube, get the Kayle even further ahead. You don't have to worry about the Baron because then you have 2 soul laners with TP. Like, you have a lot of different options in terms of playing out through these sides. But when it comes to the grouped fights, I mean, Weibo need to calm down a little bit. We saw SofM using the paranoia in that last play to start off a fight, but that is where RA are stronger. That is where having the CC set up from Nautilus, from the Sejuani, is able to do so much. You even have a nice mix of damage coming out between your AD carry and your mid laner.
Yeah.
LeBlanc bringing the burst, consistent DPS from iBoy.
The thing is, though, it's really difficult, right? Because you look at the possibilities for SofM to go in. You really need to find picks, it feels like. 'Cause you're as we've seen happen a couple times, you're not going to take a 5v5 when you're paranoiing into the backline if they're all on top of you when you get to the backline. So the biggest thing is trying to find catchouts. But you know iBoy is never going to leave Yuyanjia's side. Everybody else, you're not going to paranoia onto Cube unless he's by himself some way, which in these team fights he's not going to be. Leyan and Strive has so much mobility that if you do paranoia onto them, they're just going to get out of the fear in the combo. It's so difficult for SofM as this game gets further on to attack the composition of RA, and that's where he has to rely on TheShy, the rest of the team, to really back him up.
Well, that's why he needs to enable TheShy, right? Again, it's about enabling TheShy to do this. Even if you're not necessarily paranoing into Cube, hovering around him, making sure he isn't getting ganked, you can take 2v2s if someone does come to answer. So RA are going to keep looking to overload one side of the map to force you to fight them. I feel like the only real problem comes for Weibo if RA start like dropping waves and Weibo aren't respecting that, no one's showing on sides, they're grouping mid, and you're just falling for these fights. If not, it will be a balancing act for Weibo in terms of like the push and pull of, you know, TheShy pushing forward while you also have members like Huanfeng and On, you know, showing on mid waves. So RA have to make a choice. It's like, do we answer this Kayle but let these other members get something else? RA should always have to make a decision like that if Weibo are playing out this comp correctly.
And that charge for the Rift Herald did get a decent chunk of damage on the in-hit tower and bot lane. Obviously, going to be something to revisit a little bit later on and keep an eye out on the side lane focus for Weibo Gaming. It is, at this point, their win condition and trying to find a way to facilitate that for SofM. We do have item completion coming up for Huanfeng as well. We'll have the Phantom Dancer. Nice little power spike there, but still really waiting on that third item for them, both of these ADCs in all actuality. And it's just grouping around this mid lane. Leyan just looking for a little bit of vision game, looking to support the rest of the team, but SofM and On might have found Leyan here, but I don't think they're going to go fully in. They just want to get the Scuttle Crab here. And Dragon taken by RA.
I even love all the wards that RA have in lanes to kind of see out which side of the jungle they can lean towards. They have control wards to spot out that Weibo don't have any of their own lane wards to kind of spot out the directions that can come from members like Strive rotating the sides. And RA feels like their big point of power over the enemy side right now is in mid jungle. Like your AD carry is kind of evenly matched in terms of items. Strive should have components he's sitting on to be over Angel, who did just back to finally purchase, and even Leyan sitting, again, a bit more power over what SofM does have in his inventory.
I just think it's so funny that we're getting such little mental gameplay coming out from all these teams. We're getting the bush play, the behind the rock play. Everybody's just kind of waiting. And it feels like that's the kind of state of the game for Weibo. They're not, again, not going to be able to take these big 5v5s. They need to wait till things are a little bit more chaotic. And they're fine at this point waiting till those moments and being able to farm up. This Baron potentially being hovered around by RA, but still the damage potential for RA right now is centered on the Jinx and Strive, not necessarily at the point you can just burn down Baron.
No, definitely not. Yeah, they weren't going to look for it, especially with the fact that Weibo do have the Skittle Crab up in top side. I think would just open up too many opportunities for things like the Zeri W to put too much punishment. Obviously being grouped up in the pit, really bad against Renata, who can just throw out the hostile takeover. You're all going to be screwed, hitting each other, lockdown, so Weibo will be able to burst you out. So Weibo's still playing this one quite confidently. Now grouped up as 5 in mid, since Cube is showing in bot wave.
Everyone from RA coming this way here. It's a flash engage from Yuyanjia. The paranoia comes in. Yuyanjia's in some trouble here. Strive is locked down. It's a trade so far as Yuyanjia's surviving. Dragon Rage kick onto the TheShy, or onto Huanfeng rather, as Angel trying to get away has the yellow card available, but the tanky front line from RA is working so nicely to separate for iBoy.
Sadly, though, Cube's ultimate not able to find anything. That could have been the
turn
tool they needed.
A little bit of a turn here. Cube, Mega Death Rocket does connect, but not enough damage to take the fight here. iBoy still pretty healthy. Dredgeline does not get connected either because of the flash from Angel. It's a tight, close fight, but it's still RA. That walk away, I feel like, in the pressure advantage.
Yes, 100%, because just look at summoner spells right now. Weibo had to burn every flash. Kudos to Weibo, like they kited that out very nicely. RA were not able to land any of their follow-up CC to commit to the play, but now what this means is the next engage should be more guaranteed for RA since you burnt all the flashes now. It starts off with Yuyanjia finding a nice hook into ultimate combo onto Huanfeng, but not enough damage to be able to follow through. Huanfeng then flashing forward aggressively, does have the support from TheShy. And then we see Cube not able to land his ultimate to lock someone down. We're going to see if it kept going. Yuyanjia's next hook would miss. Like a lot of tools not landing to guarantee the kills.
No flashes though again. And look, RA want to pounce here on already about half health. They have to use the speed up. And RA not going to pull the trigger this time around. Still hovering for these picks as a 5v5. Perfectly to their strategy.
And now for RA, they're going to kind of hover around the Baron to try to bait out a fight coming through. But so far, Weibo aren't falling for it, and they're trying to keep pressure up in mid.
2 more levels for TheShy. I can count, Lyric. 2 more. 2 levels. But Weibo are grouping up now before that power spike. And RA, this could be a moment for them to shine, to really turn the game in their favor, as it's very, very close to about 600 gold or so. As Cube misses again, Mega Death Rocket just comes in to get some damage poked down. Nice little ultra laser there. On is consistently the member of Weibo Gaming who has his health bar missing, though.
Yeah, and RA just can't find the engage. And like you said, they really want to find it now before TheShy hits level 16, before any of these summoner spells start coming back up. This is where you have the most advantage. But now 2 of your own ultimates are down, and RA are really struggling to find an answer. Looks like maybe they'll finally actually pivot towards the Baron because they have phenomenal vision control and see if Strive can find a pick.
Yeah, look at the...
Oh, he's got it.
He
He's got
does on dies. That's 1 and 6 on the Renata. Here comes the Paranoia to answer back, though. See if Weibo can find it. He's a slippery son of a gun, and Strive will make it to the towers here. He's trying to buy a little bit of time. Ultra Shock Laser will not connect. Oh, Huanfeng! He doesn't get the help on it. He didn't hit the last. Okay, he got the assist. My bad. He did give the kill over to SofM, though, and that'll be nice. Don't know if it's going to come up aces for you, though, so far.
I think it would have been nice if RA could have made that choice harder for Weibo, because Weibo, all their members were able to commit to the pick onto Strive, right? But even had they pivoted to maybe threatening the start of a Baron, or even had they transitioned for vision control in the bottom side a little bit earlier, it feels like a bit of wasted time coming out from RA there. That Weibo were just kind of allowed to be given some breathing room, but now Cube.
No breathing room as Cube is engaging there and playing a little bit of that tank duty in the front line. Item completion is coming up pretty soon here. 3 items looking to be the call for both ADCs. We do have Soul Point going to RA as well right now, and the vision game needs to be established around the Baron now for Weibo Gaming because that's the only objective on the map.
Yeah, they're going to head straight
just
there
doing
right
it.
now, and they're starting to burn it down.
The DP's coming
TP
in.
coming through for Strive.
That's a huge flank as well. There's not much that Weibo can do but commit to this Baron. It's getting half health here. Yuyanjia's not here. Leyan over the wall. Can they get in? Paranoia is going to block it out, though. They don't get in. The handshake is huge. The takeover. They can't get into the pit, and Weibo secure the Baron. Glacial Prison goes wide, though. Cube can't connect it yet again. Strive is still on the flank, but there's not much that RA can do, and Weibo get out with an objective steal.
I feel like RA just mismanaged that window where they had such a lead on summoners and all the engaged tools in the world to try to force the fight they wanted. I think paying a little bit too much respect to Weibo in that time, because now look, now you have Baron, now TheShy's about to hit level 16, and this was a game that I felt like was pretty comfortably in control for RA to find that snowball they needed if they were willing to bait the Baron, or even, again, commit after Strive finds the pick to start opening things up. But now, I feel like this is where things start going in the direction of Weibo. We can see TheShy has been huge this whole game. He's been 50 CS up on Cube for such a long time, sitting on 3 completed items.
So close.
You have the split push able to come through for both of your side laners as well, and you're really going to be pulling RA kind of thin with where they have to allocate resources.
He's done it! He's level 16! Hold your hands up, Lyric! You didn't do it with me at the A block, but it's time for the Weibo coaster, because TheShy has hit level 16, and it's now about execution in the team fights. You know they have the damage. You know they have the carry potential, but they cannot get caught out. TheShy needs to be a massive piece for Weibo in the next team fights to come.
Yeah, and you can see Weibo even hesitant to even fully commit to side lanes, because they know all RA have to do. You drop one lane to commit with more numbers on the other. So Weibo now going to try and get control over bot side so TheShy can split push freely.
Destiny
RA do know they're here, though.
SofM taking a couple rockets to the back of the head there, but Destiny just used to feel out where RA are trying to position on the map, where they're looking to defend.
Yeah, now going to have this push coming through.
Oh, the flash forward. iBoy getting away, though, from the Everfrost. Nice rockets back. Huanfeng taking tons of damage. Gotta be careful in the mid lane, though. It's Weibo looking to set up. Paranoia is available. TheShy playing very confident now that he's hit this level 16 mark, and with the Banshee's Veil.
Yeah, Weibo trying to just aggress into the enemy jungle, but RA not going to allow that to happen. Weibo are going to default back to just pushing out mid first, and then you probably default back into trying to get some of that vision control back, but Weibo not going to go answer back on bot side or sync up any other waves, so they really don't have any pressure to play with, considering they are committing to, sitting as a 5-man stack as compared to syncing up those waves.
Yeah, and you'll see the resets coming out as well, because they just had a little bit longer on the Barons.
There's a lot of threat on the side of RA, so I get the respect coming in from Weibo's side, because RA do have so many engaged tools, right? You have Nautilus, Sejuani, Leyan can come behind with a kick, Strive can set something up with the chain, so I think reasonable worries coming out from the side of Weibo.
Reasonable worries in a very, very close match. Only about 2,000 gold separates these teams going into 30 minutes here almost. And this next fight for the Dragon will be really a line in the sand for RA. If they can secure this soul, it'll be huge. Hextech soul will benefit them so well in the clumped up team fights that they want to have. And you know Weibo Gaming don't want to let that happen. They're moving in, trying to get this vision game going. Yellow card does connect. They get the speed up. On goes through it. He has to get the Righteous Judgment used on him. Big damage, though, from TheShy. Glacial Prison going to go wide yet again. Paranoia used as SofM is in a 1v2 or 1v1 on Strive. But in the fight here, now it's TheShy time. It's TheShy coming to town. Huanfeng gets one of the kills, and TheShy is up front in the fight here. He might be in some trouble. He does go down. Cube will be traded, though, and that is another big pickup. Weibo Gaming wrestling control of this game away from RA.
And RA, they just missed their window. Like I said, we come in, TheShy now is super strong. Like, oh, Strive's dead.
Bye, Strive.
But on, once again, walking too far forward, he's just lucky that TheShy right there to give him his ult, and then TheShy dealing so much more damage than RA were able to put out on and make it so Weibo were able to take the fight. So, I mean, heck, and this is how the game should go going forward, right? Unless RA can find some kind of, like, crazy dragon right now to be able to get themselves on Soul, Weibo are just comfortably in the lead, as we see here on. Hopping the Shirelias, instantly throws out his ultimate, but TheShy there to save him. And then just look at the damage. First coming out from Huanfeng to set all of this up, but then once TheShy gets involved, just completely destroying Yuyanjia. Here we go, Dragon time.
It is Dragon time. It's not Dragon Tails, it's Dragon time, as TheShy is already burning down the Dragon. RA realize they don't really have much to say in this situation. We got the damage grab coming up just to make sure if the fight kicks off, but it looks like Strive does TP to the mid lane. Maybe looking for an avenue to get some vision behind Strive, though. Strive, you get some trouble here, bud. Does get out, though. Nicely flashed away, but that's a big summoner spell.
I mean, they know at this point, right, that they're kind of falling on the back foot. It's going to become harder and harder to fight. So right now they're trying to all in on finding some picks with Strive, chunk someone out before a fight happens, and maybe even 100 to 0.
Hostile takeover. That's on all 4 members. And now the Righteous Judgment to save On's life. iBoy can't get excited, and Weibo move forward as 5. Yellow card connects. Cleanse too early from iBoy, and he falls too quickly. Weibo move all the pressure they have. An avalanche, a tidal wave up the mid lane.
The hostile takeover doing so much when the enemy team just fully commits into you. The damage able to come through, but Strive gonna be smart. He's gonna hold the wave to make sure that Weibo don't have any more pushing power going forward. But guess what, RA? Baron is up. Weibo gonna very easily pivot to that one.
They are indeed. You see everybody headed that way. On will join them. The reunion in the Baron pit here for Weibo Gaming, as they have completely taken control of this game. This will be another objective for them. They'll use this pressure to potentially push more into these inhibs, right? They have the mid inhib taken now. So much pressure to be dealt by Weibo.
Yeah, Mazel, this game is something that rhymes with rover. Yeah, you know the word.
Is it Dover?
It's done. It's donezo. Because as we see here, no fight's able to come out for RA. RA at this point just trying to slam their head into an engage in the side of Weibo. Hostile takeover was able to come out. And then for Weibo, it's kind of one of the things that counteract you not really having much of a front line, right? Like, sure, SofM is tanky. Look at his build. Has the Randuins coming out. But even just on, if all of RA is in front of you, like how typically they'll take fights with only Strive on the flank, then you're going to be able to get a lot of value out of that one and then just allow for Huanfeng and TheShy to clean up.
And you're looking at 4 items pretty much across the board for the carries here on the side of Weibo Gaming. Lord Dom's completed for Huanfeng now as well. And RA just need to find picks if they can. But we've seen when they try to go for picks, the response from Weibo is so huge. There's the Angel Destiny over the side, and here comes Weibo Gaming. Lightning Crash, AoE. You thought you had the team fight, RA, but you're being dragged into game number 3. Huanfeng's trying to style on him. Can't get the last kill there. It's still a triple kill for the ADC of Weibo Gaming, and this has to mean the end of game number 2. And baby, we're going the distance.
Weibo bring it back against RA. TheShy blind picks Kayle, and he's able to pull it through this time, Mazel.
Second time's the try. You said you were judging. You were righteously judging TheShy for picking the Kayle. Into game 1, rightfully so, I feel like. but he redeems himself in game number 2, being a pivotal reason why those fights turned around. The righteous judgments on to on when he was getting overextended and caught out, they were magnificent.
You know, I just imagine, like, I imagine TheShy sitting across from Cube and just with a stone face of, like, saying, like, I'm going to pick Kayle again. And, like, after game 1, Cube probably like, no, you don't. You're memeing. Sees the bans come out, signaling for it to come through, right? Sees the Nasus ban, signaling that he's going to pick Kayle. And RA still is like, it doesn't matter. It's not going to happen. TheShy does it. But, right, I want to highlight some other members other than just TheShy, because TheShy obviously became huge, but I feel like the difference was how Weibo responded in the early game, right? SofM covering up for that top side, using the paranoia. You look for the 2v2. That's where they're able to win out. Their bottom lane doing incredibly well in like the early levels as well. Like, sure, we saw Yuyanjia finding some nice hooks with the level 1 advantage that they were able to find, but the fact that Huanfeng especially was able to bring it back felt quite nice. I think having a rough game with how much he got picked off, but RA made it easy for him to really hit these perfect hostile takeovers.
I still think, like, we talked about TheShy a little bit, but I'm going to go back to your point about SofM, because night and day, right? Like, he was able to respond to a lot of the pressure that Leyan was still trying to give on the Lee Sin, and it made, like, 3 times Leyan tried to go top lane. 3 times he was denied, majorly because Leyan was right there to respond every time and even coming up with kills for Weibo in those top lane ganks. So the biggest difference for me was this pendulum that we set up at the beginning of the day, swinging back and forth because of this jungle matchup.
Yeah, SofM able to cover up for TheShy, allowing him to get such a huge CS lead. And then Angel, right? I feel like Angel did his job. We saw some nice Destiny. He's able to come out and cover, but a lot of the heavy lifting kind of done by the jungle top side, and then even just Huanfeng being so self-sufficient on his own. RA, I mean, RA had the chance in my mind to, like, maybe not for sure win this game, but I think they've been more willing to pull the trigger around that Baron bait after they'd gotten every flash. Like, that could have potentially been the winning team fight that turns into a Baron that, you know, sets up the game coming through. But even if we ignore that, sadly, the times RA did try to force fights, the abilities just weren't connecting, right? Cube, I don't think we saw Cube have one impactful ultimate in a team fight. We saw Yuyanjia hitting some nice hooks, but sadly, there were also some key ones that weren't landing, which were just kind of made even worse by the fact that Cube wasn't able to lock anyone down. So kind of sad for RA when this could have realistically been a 2-0 series for them had it been a bit better in the mid game.
And I think for RA, you got to look at it because I think the tanks are fine and dandy for Cube, but you saw such a difference when he had resources, when he had something he could feel pretty confident on, the Nasus, I would say. And it just made Leyan be able to focus other parts of the map. It made the game plan for RA a lot easier to execute. So that's what I'm looking for going into the last game of this series, is we do need to take a small little break, but on the other side, the culmination of Renata versus Weibo Gaming. We'll be right back.